Russia's growing development assistance provides support to partner countries in implementing Agenda 2030 and attaining sustainable development goals. Russia's support often comes in partnership with the United Nations. In addition to its core contributions, Russia provides financial and technical support for projects and initiatives implemented by the Food and Agriculture Organization, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the International Labour Organization, a joint UN program on HIV/AIDS, the UN Children's Fund, the UN Development Programme, the UN Economic Commission for Europe, the UN Economic Commission for Asia and Pacific, the UN Industrial Development Organization, the UN Population Fund, UN Volunteers, the World Food Programme, and the World Health Organization. Let's see a few examples. Reducing poverty can only be achieved through a comprehensive approach. With Russia's support, the UNDP was able to improve the livelihoods of the rural population in 9 districts of Tajikistan. The support focused on the rehabilitation of key economic and social infrastructure projects, the creation of new income-generating opportunities, the improvement of vocational education, and enhancing people's skills in agriculture and entrepreneurship. The fact that children learn better when they're not hungry is beyond doubt. Balanced nutrition is also key to children's health. With the support of Russian funding and expertise, the WFP provides a nutritionally balanced meal for primary school children in the most vulnerable and food-insecure regions of Armenia, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. It also supports the design of national school feeding programs. Participating schools are provided with modern cooking equipment and food supplies. Kitchens are renovated and personnel receive necessary training. With Russia's funding, the FAO introduces a comprehensive approach based on the link between agriculture, food security, nutrition, and social protection in Armenia, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. The project delivers nutrition-sensitive social protection, including school meals, and helps the implementation of sustainable centralized models for the supply of agricultural products. The Russian Federation has been an important supporter of the WHO in work in emergencies to ensure that basic health needs are met quickly and effectively. This includes the provision of health supplies, life-saving medicines, surgery, and trauma kits. Medical interventions are supported by specially trained emergency experts. By funding the WHO Office for the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases, Russia helps the whole region scale up efforts on combating such diseases as heart attacks, cancer, asthma, and diabetes. Now the region is on track to reduce by 1/3 premature mortality from such diseases by 2030. Russia partners with UNAID to support efforts in countries in Eastern Europe and Central Asia towards effective control of HIV and other infectious diseases. The program gives people in rural areas access to testing and assists those already affected, raises awareness, strengthens national scientific potential and capacity of medical services. It ensures effective monitoring of epidemiological situations, takes timely measures to prevent HIV infection, and provides medical care to people, especially those at high risk of HIV infection such as migrants and their families. Measles remains one of the leading causes of death among young children globally, despite the availability of a safe and effective vaccine. In Lebanon, Russia's grant contributed to UNICEF's mass vaccination campaign among children below 15 years of age. Street children often lack access to education and social protection. With Russia's support, UNICEF assisted in addressing this situation in Iran. The project helped vulnerable children engaged in child labor and exposed to risky lifestyles gain access to education and other social services. Most were undocumented children from Afghan refugee families. Women often face barriers in starting businesses. Mijguna from Tajikistan is 27, and after she had to leave her husband's family, she faced a difficult period. Her childhood dream had been to become a tailor. With the support of the Russia-funded UNDP project, she was able to start a business and produce 14 varieties of adras. Entrepreneurs like Mijgona are changing perceptions on gender roles, serving as role models for the younger generation and contributing to women's empowerment. Clean water and sanitization are vital in our everyday lives, but even more so once an epidemic strikes. When Sierra Leone was fighting Ebola, Russian assistance was timely to support UNICEF in clean water distribution, the establishment of hand-washing stations and hygiene education. Community theatre groups were used as a creative way to bring the key hygiene messages on prevention of the spread of Ebola. With Russian support, the UNDP provides access to modern energy sources in rural Kyrgyzstan. Before, Gulzat had to make a fire to cook a meal. But now she and her husband are using biogas. It allows them to heat the house and cattle barn at no cost. Biogas is environmentally friendly. A suspension obtained as a byproduct is also a great biofertilizer. It reduces the use of chemical fertilizers and contributes to a significant increase in organic crops. Russia and the ILO are committed to supporting productivity, competitiveness, and economic growth. In Armenia, Jordan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Vietnam, they helped strengthen national skills development systems to improve employability of both women and men. In Vietnam, the program applied skills technology foresight to evaluate future competency requirements, established a public-private partnership, trained management of over 60 TVET institutions, and provided technical support to improve graduates' employability. Innovation is for everyone. That is why a Skolkovo-based startup, Exoatlet, developed a medical exoskeleton that helps people confined to wheelchairs stand up for the first time since their injury. Exoatlet is one of many companies participating in the UNIDO program that has been building partnerships on inclusive and sustainable industrial development between Russia, Latin America, and the Caribbean since 2015. As a result, Exoatlet established cooperation with Robotics Lab to support innovations in Latin America for the benefit of people with special needs. In the Tavush region of Armenia, Russia and the UNDP joined forces to support rural livelihoods and ensure a balanced development of the country's regions. As a result, the populations in Tavush villages have better access to quality infrastructure, agricultural facilities, employment, and income-generating opportunities. A safe home is important for everyone. It's even more crucial when you experience regular hurricanes and tropical storms. With Russia's funding, the UNDP assisted the Cuban housing sector that was severely damaged after Hurricane Sandy and later Hurricane Matthew. With better equipment and skills, thousands of technicians and workers produced resilient construction materials for new and renovated homes, schools, and health centers that can withstand future storms. In Central Asia, there are more than 1,000 dams providing water for irrigation, energy, and household use. Many of them are in need of modernization. The UNECE and Russia have been working with governments in the region to improve dam safety. Independent monitoring benefits both upstream and downstream countries, making sure that people in the region live safely. Once, Armenia was very famous for its garment industry. With Russia's support, a UNIDO project started a new chapter in the country's technological capacity. Industrial product design and other services to local manufacturers led to the creation of 4 collections under the joint label 5900BC by 8 garment manufacturers. As international retail chains and designers became interested, sales of the factories rose by 60% and export doubled. By building on its historical heritage and crafting traditions, Armenia was able to enter the international apparel market, boost its production capacities, and create new quality jobs. Small island developing states are among the most vulnerable to climate change impacts. Russia and the UNDP support disaster resilience in Pacific small island states by strengthening early warning and climate monitoring systems capacity, equipping national partners with tools to manage disaster recovery processes, and introducing financial instruments to share disaster-related risks and fund post-disaster recovery. Further, supporting the Paris Agreement 7 new projects were launched in 2017. One of them aims to contribute to low-emission development pathways for Zimbabwe through the implementation of a robust, nationally determined contributions action program. The least developed countries might often need special assistance to increase the economic benefits from the sustainable use of marine resources, including aquaculture. In Ethiopia, UNIDO and Russia aim to enhance the technical and institutional capacity of the country to increase production, development, and sustainable management of the fisheries value chains. An increasing number of wildfires in Armenia is causing serious damage to forest ecosystems, grasslands, and the livelihoods of local communities. With a new project, Russia and the UNDP will support the technical capacity of national partners in addressing this issue. At least 150 communities will benefit from the support, and 1,000 hectares of degraded mountain ecosystems will be restored. All UNDP area-based programs supported by Russia start with community planning. This allows us not just to carefully identify community needs for targeted intervention, but also to promote the very practice of responsive, inclusive, participatory, and representative decision-making. In Kyrgyzstan, the UNFPA is working to strengthen statistical capacity of the national population systems. As a result, a complete, up-to-date, archived database of civil registration records will be established. In 2015, Russia and the UNDP established a trust fund for development that now has over 25 projects. One of them allows partner countries to gain rapid access to Russian expertise in various fields, from satellite data analysis for flood prediction to trade legislation, startup ecosystems, or disability assessment. In 2018, Russia and the UNV launched a new program to engage experienced and talented Russian specialists in development work. Already this year, 20 volunteers will start working in the offices of UN agencies around the world. Russia and UN agencies will continue to partner for a better future for people and the planet.